Hi everyone! Today I'm going to take a look at the best wireless mouse in the market for this year. First, we're going to show you our top 8 best picks, and we'll talk about what you should look for before buying a wireless mouse. You can find links to all of the products we've mentioned in this video down in the description below. Let's get started. At the first position of our list, we have Logitech MX Master 3. Durable with a premium feature set that'll help boost productivity and a very comfortable design, the Logitech MX Master 3 is the best wireless mouse for you. It's not made for gaming, but its sensor goes up to 4000 CPI, which is impressive for a productivity mouse. You also get per-app programmability for its 6 buttons, including 2 scroll wheels that you can set to do different things upon launching specific apps. The Logitech MX Master 3 impresses with an innovative electromagnetic wheel and the power to control up to 3 PCS simultaneously, including transferring files, text, and images. In addition, it's wireless, offering either a dongle or Bluetooth connection. You also get a comfortable thumb rest and high design that lets your thumb and fingers rest comfortably. Plus, the dark field sensors work on almost any surface, so you can use it for working from your desk, on the couch, and anywhere in between for up to 70 days, according to Logitech. For productivity, I've been virtually inseparable from this mouse since first meeting it last year. Now, it's also available in a lighter gray, and Apple users via the Logitech MX Master 3 for Mac tuned to work with macOS and Apatos apps. We've tried cheaper options with similar functionality, like the Logitech MX Anywhere 3 and Dell MS7421, but none match the MX Master 3. Moving on to the next at number 2 with Logitech MX Vertical. Ergonomic mice, especially uniquely designed ones like Logitech MX Vertical, aren't for everyone. Vertical mice are meant to be more comfortable for your arm and wrist, since they don't force you to twist into unnatural positions. But this odd shape and method of controlling a mouse will take getting used to, and you won't reap the benefits right away. It took me about a week to stop squeezing the mouse unnecessarily to make up for my fingers' tendency to slide down the MX Vertical slope. And you shouldn't expect miracles either. If your arm or hands are consistently hurting, you should see a doctor, not buy a mouse. Even Logitech only claims a 10% reduction in muscle strain. But if you're interested in trying out a vertical mouse, the Logitech MX Vertical is the gold standard. Erected at a 57-degree angle, the hand sits in a handshake position, and once I got used to it, my thumb found comfort in the soft thumb rest, while the fat base filled my palm and provided comfort. The whole chassis is a soft rubber with vertical lines running through for a finish that's very similar to the Logitech MX Master 3 above. You also get a precise but slender rubber scroll wheel with tasteful silver accents and a strong press-in, a DPI adjust button on top, plus 2 side buttons. However, those side buttons are high, making it hard to reach with the thumb naturally, especially the forward button. The MX Vertical stands above rivals as the best wireless ergonomic mouse, and it's not only about its shape. This is also an advanced productivity mouse, letting you control up to 3 computers. A button on the underside easily jumps from each connected PC. Like the MX Master 3, it uses Logitech Flow, which means you can use the mouse to control, including shared documents and images, up to 3 PCS if you use the dongle and Logitech software. I sometimes suffered a 1-2 second delay when moving from PC to PC, but otherwise the feature works as you'd expect. You can also program 4 of the MX Vertical's 4 buttons. You have to keep the left click function with settings that'll change depending on the application. Of course, input is smooth and consistent. I had no problem using the mouse and its Bluetooth connection, along with a Bluetooth keyboard and 2.4 GHz dongle connection. Logitech claims up to 3 hours of use from a 1-minute charge and up to 4 months of total battery life. Sadly, the mouse's software doesn't provide a precise battery reading, but after 33 hours using the MX Vertical via Bluetooth with occasional flow usage, the mouse's battery meter had yet to lose one of its. The number 3 position is held by Razer Pro Click Mini. If you're like me, you spend a lot of time using gaming gear for productivity purposes. Often, it's the cheapest way to get your hands on gear that approaches professional level features. Razer, known mostly for its gaming peripherals, now wants to address people like you and me by taking the features it's known for in its gaming products and translating them to alignment specifically for productivity. Enter the Razer Pro Click Mini. This mouse is the second productivity-focused pointer from Razer and features quieter switches and a smaller footprint than the first. But unlike other productivity-focused mice, it's also got a high max DPI, 12,000 to 1,000 polling rate, 7 programmable buttons, and 2.4 GHz wireless connectivity. Plus, it's got 5 onboard memory profiles, and you can remap buttons, including the 4-way tilt wheel with both infinite and ratcheted scrolling in Razer Synapse. That makes this an especially powerful contender for the office, with lots of versatility and highly responsive input. Although its sleek gray and white exterior and comfortable ergonomics mean it's still at home in your boss line of sight, it's a bit of a shame that it uses batteries instead of being rechargeable, especially since those batteries do make it a touch heavier. But with a purported 465 hours of 2.4 GHz battery life and 725 hours of Bluetooth battery life, it's easy to just stuff this in your bag and forget about it for months on end. Also a perfect mouse for the gamer with a more reserved aesthetic. The Pro Click Mini points to an exciting and more varied future for Razer's peripherals. Next at number 4 we have Logitech M510. What even is a best mouse, anyway? Don't you just need a way to point your cursor without too much delay and without hurting your hands? If this sounds like you, the Logitech M510 will be your new best friend. Its no-frills design makes it one of the most inexpensive mice on this list at $20, while its 2.4 GHz connectivity keeps it lagless. Meanwhile, it's comfy. Ambidextrous body should fit nicely into most hands, and its 2 side buttons are accessible across palm, claw, and fingertip grip styles. Its software, Logitech Options, is also robust enough that you can easily get more advanced with it later on once you've started to see the light of fancy mice. You can set the DPI up to 1000 with Logitech Options. For instance, although it's somewhat obliquely presented as a pointer speed slider that refuses to give actual numbers. You can also swap the left and right mouse button functions, easily view battery life, and map any number of functions to 5 of the mouse's buttons. These include keystroke assignments, common functions like copy or paste, and even a gesture toggle that works with mouse movement to open up even more mappable actions. What's even better is that you can set the mouse to have different profiles per application. These Logitech Options features aren't unique to the 510, but it's good to know that you can still access them even if you go for the most basic of Logitech's mice. Speaking of basic, this mouse glides well with its 4 rubber feet and boasts a 24-month battery off its 2 O's. At 0.28 pounds, it's also easy to lift and travel with. All around, this is a great starter mouse. Although its ambidextrous design leaves it with a somewhat underdeveloped thumb rest, and it doesn't have special features like an infinite scroll wheel. The number 5 position is held by Microsoft Modern Mobile Mouse. The Microsoft Modern Mobile Mouse is a thin little credit card of a pointer that presumes that the most comfortable form factor for a mouse is to have as little mouse in your hand as possible. This makes it great for travel and style, especially with its 8 available colors and Bluetooth connectivity. At 78 grams with batteries installed, it's easy to carry around with you and push around a table. At the same time, its sleek rectangular exterior makes it difficult for certain grip types to handle it, and it doesn't come with extra buttons or too much configurability. With just a left button, a right button, and a scroll wheel that can tilt to the side, this mouse isn't meant for more than basic work. The scroll wheel's push-in button can be remapped to input a key combination, open the screen snipping tool, or even input a macro. But that's the most advanced usability you'll get out of this mouse. Otherwise, all its software will let you do is swap the left and right click, change how fast the wheel scrolls, and in which direction, and adjust your DPI. The max DPI is higher on this mouse than what you'll find on other productivity-focused entries, though. The minimum DPI is 400 and the maximum is 1800, which means you will be able to easily track your cursor across all sorts of resolutions and monitor sizes. There's no doubt that the mouse's lightweight nature lends it a certain level of comfort, as it doesn't take much force to use, although it can feel bulky in the hands thanks to its rectangular shape. That's a bit odd given how small the mouse is, and it doesn't help that palm grip users don't have much of a body to rest their palms on. Still, this is a good mouse for Bluetooth devices, casual use, travel, and those who prefer lightweight and small accessories that stay out of the way. It also looks good, but its functions are limited, and it's not the most comfortable for all types of users. The number 6 position is dominated by Microsoft Arc Mouse. The The Microsoft Arc mouse is a more ergonomic take on the Microsoft modern mobile mouse that nonetheless loses some functionality in the pursuit of greater comfort. It feels great in the hands, so much so that it actually convinced me to abandon my usual claw grip for a palm grip instead. But its hair trigger button that doesn't physically distinguish between left and right click zones, and its lack of a scroll wheel means that it's not for everyone. Let's start with the positives. The Microsoft Arc mouse feels like it's built for my hands rather than forcing my hands to contort to it. At $80, it's more than 3 times the cost of the modern mobile mouse, but is still affordable compared to other ergonomic mice on this list. It also carries over some of the benefits of the modern mobile mouse, including its uncomplicated and lightweight body, stylish look, many color options, and easy portability. It can bend flat to fit into bags with no issue. At the same time, it's got the same weaknesses as the modern mobile mouse, and then some. Most noticeable and egregious among these is the lack of a scroll wheel or separated left and right click buttons. Taking the modern mobile mouse's lack of buttons a little further, the Arc mouse opts to have one clickable touchpad for its input. Clicking the left side works as a left click, and clicking the right side works like a right click, although you can swap these. While an optional 3-finger click option can serve as either a middle click or a keyboard combination of your choice. This can take some getting used to at first, as you find where the boundaries between the different options are, but it generally works. However, I did occasionally find myself pushing the button in when I didn't want to, simply because the mouse is designed so that the weight of your fingers rests on it, and the button itself doesn't offer much resistance. I can see avoiding this becoming easier with time. But what's worse is that, instead of a scroll wheel, this mouse wants you to flick your finger to scroll. This results in stilted scrolling that requires a lot of extraneous flicks, even on the highest sensitivity setting. Not only do you lose precision with this, but you also lose comfort, which goes against the point of the mouse. I did find myself getting better at scrolling with this mouse over time, but it never felt easy, natural, or comfortable. Also a little disappointing is that bending the mouse flat also turns it off, so you can't use it in this shape if you prefer. Further, the mouse is not built for fingertip or claw grippers, although its elevated backside saw me adopting a palm grip style, even though I naturally use a claw grip one. Because of its comfort, style, and easy portability, I can see some people loving this mouse, either as their main pointer or as a backup when traveling. It is a niche pick, but so are most ergonomic mice. Moving on to the next at number 7 with Logitech Ergo M575 mouse. The Logitech Ergo M575 mouse is the hero your strained wrists have been waiting for. With it, you won't need to move them at all. Just lay your hand on your mouse once and you're all set for 8 hours straight without needing to move it again, aside from getting up to go to the bathroom. Of course, your thumb will be getting a workout the whole time. That's because this mouse uses a trackball to move the cursor. It's not a new approach, but at $50 and with 2.4 GHz Bluetooth support, the Ergo M575 is more advanced than what you would have gone in the 90s. Using it will take some practice, of course, but it feels like a dream in your hand. It completely eliminates strain from repetitive motions, and the wide body perfectly contorts to my hand shape. Again, it does require my thumb to do a lot of movement, but if there's anything decades of gaming has taught me, it's that my thumbs are pretty resilient when it comes to carpal tunnel syndrome. The rest of my hand, not so much. Of course, speaking of gaming, not being able to move the mouse's body itself does come with some struggles. For instance, while this isn't our best gaming mouse list, let's not kid ourselves. You're probably not constantly swapping between a gaming and work mouse with your home setup. If you were hoping to use this mouse to moonlight in games, think again. While its trackball can reach a DPI of up to 2000, it's harder to do controlled flicks or steady tracking with it. Not common use cases on the job, but very common in games. Clicking and dragging also takes some rewiring at first, as I'm not used to using both my thumb and my index finger when doing so. It took a bit of thought to remember to let go of my index finger when I was done dragging, but not my thumb. Similarly, it can be hard to precisely highlight text with a trackball. Most of these issues, aside from the mouse not being well suited to games, are easy enough to fix with practice. And once you do, your wrist will thank you. Your desk might thank you too. While the M575 is a bulky mouse, it also paradoxically is a small footprint because you don't need to move it when using it. It doesn't even need a mousepad, making it great for people with small desks or keyboard trays. Like the Logitech M510, the M575 is compatible with the Logitech Options software, which lets you remap its 3 extra buttons. Check battery level, swap the left/right click, and adjust DPI. The customization on offer here is fairly robust and allows you to set a button to open programs, control media, enter certain key combinations, and the like. Plus, you can set the mouse to use different settings depending on which program you have open. If you like trackball mice, this is one of the best modern options available. The number 8 position is held by Logitech Triathlon M720 mouse. At first glance, the Logitech Triathlon M720 mouse doesn't appear to offer much for its $40 price that the more basic, $20 Logitech M510 mouse doesn't already have. It's got one extra button hidden away in its left thumb rest, which itself is more prominent than the thumb rest on the M510, plus a switch hidden under the scroll wheel that swaps it between ratcheted and smooth scrolling. But it's also got one other additional, non-remappable button on its side with a 123 printed next to it. This button is where you'll find the Triathlon's unique use case, which is its ability to pair with up to 3 computers at once and swap between them on the fly either with that button or through Logitech Flow. Logitech Flow is a unique piece of software that allows the Triathlon to easily treat multiple computers like one desktop simply by moving the cursor between their displays. This lets you copy and paste images and files easily, or even just use a laptop as a secondary or tertiary monitor without hassle. Think of it like a software solution for a KVM. All you have to do is pair the Triathlon to each of the PCs you want to use and make sure Logitech Options is installed on each. In practice, it works almost flawlessly. Plus, you can add a Logitech keyboard into the mix if you have one. The only major issue is with connectivity standard limitations. To connect to a device, the M720 needs either Bluetooth or a Logitech unifying receiver. Since it only comes with a single unifying receiver, you can have all of your devices using 2.4 GHz unless you buy individual receivers separately. There's no issue with connecting multiple Bluetooth devices, however, nor did I have a problem connecting one device via 2.4 GHz and one via Bluetooth. Less of an issue is that a device's mouse cursor does not disappear when you move your mouse off of it, which can be mildly annoying if you're using a laptop as a secondary display. If you need to quickly move files across devices or just simply do not own a secondary monitor but do have a laptop, Logitech Flow can be a boon to your productivity. But if all you need to do is connect a single mouse to multiple devices and swap between them on the fly, other Logitech mice can also do that. Take the Ergo M575, which is both 2.4 GHz and Bluetooth compatibility. I easily connected the M575 to one device via 2.4 GHz and one device via Bluetooth, then swapped between them on the fly via the button on the bottom of the mouse that changes the M575's connectivity standard. It's a more hack-wise solution and requires you to turn the mouse over every time you want to swap devices rather than using an easy side button. But it does take away one of the Triathlon's unique strengths. Nonetheless, the Triathlon is still inexpensive compared to mice like the Ergo M575. And it is a good choice if you're just getting a Logitech productivity mouse and need to use it across multiple devices. It's comfortable in the hand across all grip styles, easily remappable via the robust Logitech Options software, and has access to an always satisfying smooth scroll wheel. That's all for today. We upload computer and accessories product review videos every single day, so don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon for the upcoming video notification.